Have you ever needed an important document notarized and your bank was closed? Need someone who will be reliable, punctual, and provide great customer service? Call my man Maurice over at Austin Mobile Notary, 757-325-7353, or email him at austinmobilenotary@gmail.com. Austin Mobile Notary is a new mobile after-hours and weekend notary service. Mention this podcast, Real Talk with the 6THMAN, and Maurice will give you a $5 credit towards your first bill. Remember, Austin Mobile Notary for convenient mobile notary services. Austin Mobile Notary, y'all. Check them out. 6THMAN. Y'all be easy.
This is a 87 TV network exclusive.
Be better than yesterday, I gotta be better than yesterday. No matter if I'm playing 6-man or star, I'm better than yesterday. I gotta be better than yesterday, I gotta be better than yesterday. No matter if I'm playing 6-man or star, I'm better than yesterday.
We gotta be better, do better. That's every minute, every second. Dropping juice, hope you collecting them. The voice of the people, we all gon' get heard. This real spill, never clean what I say. Always tuned in, never tuned out. Gotta stay woke and be a sleepwalker. Gotta stand up, got too many standouts. Stay ready like the 6-man of the year. We up now, we up now.
Be better than yesterday, I gotta be better than yesterday. No matter if I'm playing 6-man or star, I'm better than yesterday. Be better than yesterday, I gotta be better than yesterday. No matter if I'm playing 6-man or star, I'm better than yesterday.
What's going on, everybody? What is going on tonight? What is going on, man? Let me start out first and foremost, just thanking y'all for coming back, man. Just sitting in with me, man. Y'all could be anywhere, but y'all here with me, so I appreciate it, man. Again, just thanking 87 TV Network for allowing me to collaborate with them, to be in the studio, to get some some professional, clarity for what I need to say. Sometimes, a lot of times when you say stuff, if it's not clear, people don't really get the message. So I appreciate Big G and his team for putting me on. So I want to thank them for that. And I'm still a little bent up though. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm still a little bent up about Nipsey, man. So rest in peace to Nipsey, man, because today would be a week. G, we was in here. It was a week, right? So it's been a week, literally a week. And when we recorded on Sunday night, the 31st, man, that's when we got the news that he got shot. And then I think right after we finished recording, they gave us the bad news that he died, man. So rest in peace, Nip, man. We it's a bad situation all the way around. But tonight we gonna do something a little light, man. I got my man Reverend White in the building with me, man. Baloo alumni, man.
Yeah, Baloo.
So I'm not sure how this gonna go. I mean, I know he gonna keep it clean because he got the cloth, but I ain't gonna keep it as clean. But I want to talk about relationships, man. So I came on here a while back and did a 6-part series of relationships, and I had like 120 listeners, and everybody wanted to, kind of get they feel and get their questions in. So I got y'all live on Real Talk with the 6-Man on Facebook. I got y'all live now. So if y'all come on, if I snatch any questions, I will definitely get y'all in the mix. But Rev, I want you to start off first, just saying, what you do and where you at, and kind of, just take us in, to, what led you, to ministry before we get into all of the relationship stuff.
Well, so first let me say, man, thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Honored to be here with you guys on the. If you get me to do anything on Sunday night, then that must mean I'm really,
homie.
I'm really your guy.
My man said he said he hit me. He was like, man, I just got out the pulpit. I said, oh, okay, so we good then.
So many people know or may not know, I'm the senior pastor of the House of Hope Praise Ministries, and we're getting ready to celebrate 4 years as a church.
Congratulations.
So we're approaching 4 years, so God has been good to us. But in lieu of the topic for tonight, relationships, I think I can speak on it. Many people know I married my high school sweetheart, middle school sweetheart, or whatever you want to say. And she I just turned 40 last year, so we're coming up on 18 years of marriage.
Oh man.
Yeah, 18.
Okay. and you know why I'm saying old man. Yeah. This dude right here, Terry Bold, you hear me? I'm just gonna keep it 100. Terry Bold.
Yeah, 18 years, man.
That's what's up, though.
And so she's been a part of my life for about 85% of it. So
That's what's up.
So I'm excited. I'm
Okay.
ready to try to answer any questions you will have.
Okay.
And we're gonna kind of bring some insight to how we could strengthen relationships
For sure.
and bring some answers.
I mean, because I feel like at the end of the day, though, dog, I mean, I was married and you married. I was going to try to grab one more man, but he couldn't make it. But I just felt like a lot of the stuff that I may mention is going to be relatable to you because you already been married for so long. But it's a lot of stuff that people doing out here. I feel like in this day and age, it's just no need. I mean, you've been at it for so long and you still playing games. I mean, I hear women all the time, these dudes out here, they just still playing games. But ho now. What you doing, though? Because if you know he playing games, why you still dealing with him?
Right.
Why you still texting him? Why you still trying to figure out why he don't call you? Why he don't give you no attention?
Right.
He don't want you.
Yeah,
Leave him alone.
And we talked about that kind of sort of on today in the message, finding out your true identity and walking in it.
Right.
Because what I'm finding out is a lot of people, male and female, in that situation that you just brought up, if you understood the value that you bring to the table, you don't have to chase anyone.
Right.
Shakespeare said, "To thy own self be true."
Right.
And so when you know who you are and when you begin to walk in the true authenticity of who you are, then you know what you want and will not accept.
Correct.
So that's just the bottom line.
Correct. So look, I'm gonna try to make it a little bit fun though, because what I did was I went on my feed and I looked at a couple of the relationship lives that I had on Facebook, and I came up with kind of the ones that had the most chatter on it. So we'll take those and kind of go from there. But before we start though, I had a question because we talked about it a little bit. So Pastor Gray.
Pastor Gray, oh Lord.
And so my thing was, my thing is the message was good. The message was a good message. And a lot of people was like in my inbox saying, Kevin, don't, you gotta listen to the message, not the messenger, right? And I get that, but I feel like at the end of the day, within the message, I still didn't hear him take ownership on what he did, versus giving everybody this, don't get married for preference, get married for purpose. And I got that. I mean, it was really good, but I'm still looking at him like, so let me hear you say that you're gonna own up to what you did, and then maybe this message will be valuable to me.
So what I hear you saying is you feel like he's flawed, and because he's flawed, he doesn't have the credibility.
Not necessarily flawed, because we all are.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, I mean, not even just in his message. I haven't heard him take ownership yet at all on what he's done at all. Period. Like I hear women say that they've heard about it, they've heard him speak on it, but not that he's actually fully like, okay, this is what I did, this is what happened. Just taking ownership. I haven't heard that yet. So for me, I feel like if you tell me something, and because I know you, I feel like it's a little different because I know what you've been through.
Right.
So if you tell me something, it's a little bit more relatable. With him, I don't know him.
Okay.
I only know what I see and what I hear.
Correct.
So when I heard the news of what happened, I didn't really get on him because it happens. Stuff happens. He bought her a car. I guess it was done, whatever. But my thing is for you to give relationship advice and tell men to stop playing, that's when he lost me. Because he was like, the men got to stop playing. The men got to step up. Wait, bro, step up. What you doing, though? So that's kind of where I was at. So it wasn't that I didn't listen to the message. It was just, I was like,
So what's your question?
So my question for you is when you're giving people a message, right?
Okay.
When you're giving them a message, I mean, is it okay to say that people gonna get turned off if they feel like you don't take ownership of what you in that particular message? I mean, if you don't take ownership of it, are people going to receive it in a positive way?
Okay, yeah, and I definitely agree with you. So we are in a different day now as it relates to church than we were when grandmother was in church and whatever. Whatever the pastor said, that's what it was, and we didn't question it. But now we're in the millennial generation where we want receipts for everything.
Right.
Don't tell me if you saying we buying chairs, then I need you to have these chairs here when we meet the goal.
Right. That's true.
So as it relates to Pastor Gray, the millennials are saying, listen, it's almost like a good chef. And I watched you some of your videos in the past. You like to cook and stuff like that. A good chef would never serve food.
Hey, man, don't be telling nobody my business, man. I don't cook in the microwave.
We got receipts. I just told you we got receipts. but a good chef.
I'm going to get some phone calls. And you know how to cook? Nah, my man, he was lying. Don't listen to him.
A good chef always eat his food first.
Yeah.
And before he serve it to anyone else. So I think the problem that we're having with Pastor Gray is that we feel like he hasn't dined on his meal first.
That makes sense.
And so that's why it's becoming a tad bit difficult for us to kind of hear the message, because we feel like there's some mess before we even get to the message. I don't know his story. I don't know the whole story. I do believe he came out and said that what it appeared to be, it wasn't that.
Right.
So
he remixed it.
Right. So
he remixed it.
So all we really have to go by is what he said.
What he said, right.
And the people who really got to hold him accountable now is the church that he's serving.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, I'm not gonna say I got flack or or bad feedback. It was just a lot of people just saying, don't listen to the messenger, listen to the message. And I did that. I mean, because I played it again even after I did all the comments, and I listened to it again. And I still, when he got to that part, men need to step up and stop playing. I'm like, wait a minute, bro. Yeah. I couldn't get past that because I'm like, you out here playing though.
It's tough, man.
So it was hard for me to do that.
Japer's Clothing is a new, stylish, black-owned brand established in 2016. They explore unfamiliar territories in the clothing industry by tailoring their Euro Street vibe into their entire product line to enrich their vision to their customers and all of their clients. In a world where you can be anything, Japer says, be you, be versatile. Japer's Clothing can also be found at www.shopjapersclothing.com, and Japer's Clothing is also an official partner of this show, Real Talk with the 6 Man. Japer's, be you, be versatile.
It was hard, man. So we gonna get into this, man. So I'm gonna do this one first because I think this one will probably, get a lot of, conversation, because I talked about this a little bit, and I wanted to see what your thoughts are, what your thoughts were on this. So, do you think a man or a female that's financially struggling should date?
Do I think that a male or female
financially struggling, should they date?
Should they be dating?
Should they be dating, period.
Wow.
Now, the question that I posed one day was for men, but I had to reel the women in because I'm like, I know a few women that might be struggling a little bit, and they still date, so I wanted to do both. So it's like, should people date if they financially struggling?
Wow. So I think again. I think the first thing, if you're going to be dating someone, you got to understand what do you bring to the table. And so now you talking to somebody, Kevin, who's been out of the game for a long time. And so I did my research.
I mean, I was too, though, for a minute, for like 2.3 and a half.
But I did my research because I knew this question was coming up. And I did. So for years, I argued that men should always pay for the date. But that's an 18-year mindset that I bring to the table.
Right.
Had no idea that there were a group of, I'll say women for the sake, and I know the women are going to kill me, but I had no idea that there were, doing my research, that there were a group of people that would go out and date you with no intentions on ever having a future with you.
Correct.
But because I'm in a situation, because I'm not,
there's a lot of that going on.
Right.
But nobody wants to talk about that, put themselves out there like that.
So you're dealing with a thing where we'll get you to go out and wine or dine us, for lack of a better word, and take us out, knowing that there is no future in this whatsoever. So we got to wrestle with that, because when you're talking about if you're financially unstable, then how can I bring any stability to you if I don't have myself together? And so I think the first And here's an addendum to that. Are we dating, right? Because I believe that, and you may disagree, but I believe that the end goal to dating is, I would never date anyone without having a mindset that we're going somewhere with this.
Right.
Because if I'm not planning on having a future with you, then we're just wasting our time.
Right.
So
that makes a lot of sense.
We're getting too old now to be just casually dating. If I can't add value to your life, if I can't see myself playing a part in your life, then why are we even dating?
And see, my take on it is a little different. See, my take is, the dating process has to have some form of communication when it starts. In the beginning part, kind of what we doing, what's your past, what you looking for, what you want to do. And I think now, and people tell me that I'm wrong, but I don't think so. I feel like Facebook and Instagram is the new way of cleaning out who you gonna date. Because if you've been out the game for a while, but if you ask somebody for a phone number, or you get a young lady's phone number or whatever, at some point she gonna ask you, "Oh, you on Facebook?" "Oh yeah, I'm on Facebook. Can I send you a friend request?" Right there, that's her getting ready to vet you. Right. So she get ready to go home, get her little wine, get in her bed or whatever. As soon as you hit that accept, she gonna do your whole Facebook.
Right.
Oh, do he like his mama? Or let me see if he got any pictures of his mama. Do he got kids? Or how many kids he got? So that's like the vetting process. So for me, when I say financially struggling, I feel like in some way, shape, or form, we all financially struggling. So in some way, shape, or form.
So statistics would suggest that women are moving up
they
the ladder, corporately, educationally. They're doing better financially. And so I have a lawyer friend on here now talking about I can't bring the whole bag to the table. You don't even have a portion of it. So we got to deal with that,
right?
Because a lot of women have done their homework. They have went to school. They have educated themselves, and so their standards are high. So when we say financially struggling, we got to define that, because are we saying we can't even afford to take them out, or we can take them out? But
when I say financially struggling, I mean, a prime example. I'm gonna just use myself as an example. Divorcee, trying to get back, and just trying to now do everything by yourself.
Correct.
So all the bills yours, everything you do, it's all you. So you trying and support the baby, the co-parenting situation with the baby and all that. So it's just like sometimes, it's things are tight. Now it ain't like if I call you with intent and say, "Hey, let's go out," I'm not asking you to pay for anything. I already know that I'm gonna do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But what if, at some point, "Hey, babe, let's go such and such Saturday," or I ain't got it, babe, I can't do it this weekend. Like that, meaning like that. Because with some people, that's a turnoff. Like, man, he can't even. But what if he can't? But what if he a good dude, though?
Right.
What if he out here moving and shaking? What if he on the grind? What if he doing his thing? But it just financially, he's just not bringing as much as you to the table. Now, he bringing something to the table, but just not as much as you. Because now we flip it and go, well, like you just said, women are really doing their thing, right? So a lot of women now feel like, they can emasculate the man. You know what? This is my house. This is my car. You can get out. You know what I mean? And so that's where it starts coming into play. So that's why I added women too, because let's flip it. There's some men out there that's breadwinners and got females that might not be the breadwinner, and they carrying the same way.
Right.
Oh, what? You ain't got my dinner ready when I get home? Right. Man, you tripping.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it kind of go both ways. So I'm not saying like drop dead broke. I'm just saying,
because if you drop dead broke, you don't need to be dead.
You need to be in the employment line and trying to get back live.
But the same way men would extend, I believe that a good woman would extend, because if she sees potential, she knows, or he knows if he sees potential, he knows. See, women are gifted in a way that we are not. So whatever you give them, they have the power and ability to turn it into something else. So, and your boy, John Gray, says if you give a woman a house, she'll turn it into a home. If you give her groceries, she'll turn it into a meal. So we have to make sure and always be mindful that our job is to, because if we put it in a biblical construct and talk biblical order, God had biblical order with the man, and then the woman, then the children, and so forth and so on. But now we're in a different day.
We are.
Where women are, some husbands are home while the women are out, and so we got to look at it. The dynamic has totally shifted. But if you are dead broke, you need to figure that out first before you bring, because no one wants to two people that's struggling. We
it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
I mean, and some people will say, your lifespan is longer with somebody than without.
Right.
And so some people look at it like that way too. Like, I mean, I might be struggling a little bit, but I don't want to be, I want companionship. I want to be with somebody. I want to.
Two is always better than one.
Yeah.
And so when you get married, your credit score, whether it's good or bad, it's going to go up.
Yeah.
Or it's going to go down.
Yeah.
Your financial tax bracket is going to go up. It's going to go down. So we got to be mindful of the fact of who. That's why I tell people to date. Give it time. Time always reveals the hand of the enemy. So if you give some people a couple Christmases,
they show you who they are.
They will show you.
That's for sure.
They are.
That is for sure. And so that takes me right into my next question. Men and women, they have specific roles in a relationship and in a marriage. Why does it seem like now that, like you just said, in this new day and age, that nobody kind of knows what those roles are? So in my mind, I'm like, when I go to the gas station, I hate to see dudes sitting in the car and watching the female pump the gas. What's that about? So I'm at the point now where, do we know what our roles are in a relationship or don't we? Like, because it's just like, I'm driving, I'm in Virginia one day, and I see all this lady, and she was cutting the whole yard, and the dude was sitting on the porch.
Wow.
I was like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm like, I know I'm not that type of dude. I mean, I know I'm the type of dude that's more hands-on, but I'm like, is it changing to the point where women are so independent to the point where if he ain't gonna do it, I'm gonna just do
it? Absolutely. It has changed.
That's crazy.
It has changed because, again, like I said, we live in a different day. But I do believe that some things should never change. Like you brought up pumping the gas. I think that's the man's job.
Yes.
But we got to be real careful when we start saying that's their job.
Right.
Because women will kill you.
Yes, sir.
When you start
you said.
Yeah.
Oh, remember when you said, you be like, damn, did I really say that? I did.
So what I've learned to do is there is not a one size fit all.
Right.
When you're dealing with relationships, because what worked for you over there may never work for me over here.
Correct.
And so in my opinion, I believe that men should always cut the grass, or always, if we're not going to cut the grass, we ought to get the grass cut.
Right.
We should always pump the gas. We should always, but again, the day is definitely changing, man.
Yeah,
it's definitely
because there's a lot of women out there that feel like they don't have time to wait on a man, and if they ask, well, I'm gonna keep asking them, and then I got, single women friends that feel like they so frustrated because they don't have help from the baby father. You know what I mean? Just having kids and just where you at, son? Like, your son over here, he want to see you. I need a little bit of, time for myself. I can't even do that because you don't need to come and get Slim. So it's like, even with me, I feel like, when my father, he was there. I always tell people my father was there. But I will say he was not there as much as I think a father should have.
He wasn't
been
present. Yeah.
Right. But, I mean, I did pick up on his I picked up on his DNA because he gave me a lot. I picked up on uncle's DNA, other dudes from the hood or whatever. So I picked up on what men look like in certain situations, and my father did help me a lot in a lot of the bad situations. Because I mean, for the most part, my father only had high school education, right? But I felt like when I hit the streets, my father showed me a different side of him. Because once I started smoking weed and kind of getting really heavy in the street, he was like, what you doing? And then it made me look at him different. With us, it's like, dads, they the cool dudes. They the ones that we get our advice from, whatever.
He got in you.
But he flipped it like, what you doing, though?
Yeah.
Like, you smoking weed?
So I think our expectations right, because your dad came from an era where you did what I said, not what I do. And so no one ever really. So he gave you probably what he received.
Right.
That's why I tell and all these women that are watching me now. Whenever you see, because if you see, like for instance in my situation, there was no one. I'm trying to think and not misspeak, but there was no one that was successfully married in my family. So
Okay.
you know, I grew up in a home where all of my aunties, everybody was just broken homes.
Right.
Everywhere you turn.
Right.
So. So for me to be something that I've never seen, and it was never modeled before me, I tell my wife all the time, you ought to celebrate me every chance you get, because I had no blueprint, no model, no step-by-step manual, and for the most part,
It's not one.
Exactly. So for the most part, we're just shooting from the hip, trying to be the best fathers we can, which is what your dad did to you. And so now that we have more with information and technology, we can push the needle a little
That's
further.
true.
Yeah.
I believe that. And so some people will say, to go right into my next one, some people will say that, you know, you get in a relationship and you deal with somebody and it's just it's toxic, right? And so some people say that, you know, people stay in relationships that's toxic for what reason? And I'm just like, that's a good question. Why do they? And I said to myself, well, some people do it because of money.
Yeah.
You know, this person got money. If I leave, I got to start all over. Some people say, oh, well, I'm too old to be going out here dating again. I don't want to be getting to know nobody and stuff like that. So it's like, why would you end up staying in a toxic relationship? Like, why do people do that?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. It could be financial. It could be fear of starting over. Something happens to us humans when we turn to 40, especially women, whether they admit it or not.
Man, you about to get me in trouble, man. About to get me in trouble, for real.
But when we get to 40, the idea of starting over, I mean, and even for me, I couldn't imagine being back on the dating scene again. I mean, you're talking about 18 years, right, of being with one person. I wouldn't even know where to even begin. How would I even know if I'm being played, if I'm being, you know, this would be absolutely
You got
crazy.
homies.
What?
Pick up the phone. What you mean? How would you know? What you mean? Pick up the phone.
So they stay for financial reasons, fear of starting over. It could be the kids. You know, you'd be surprised how many people.
Oh, hold on, it said Duke. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Oh my God, I'm sick again.
My bad.
But a lot of people stay together for the kids.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be surprised how many people are married but they're not sleeping together.
Yes, and as recent as 2 weeks ago, I learned that I know a couple that has a son. He's 19. They've been married 13 years, and they've been sleeping in separate rooms for 10 years.
Wow.
I'm like, what is that? I can't live like that. I can't do that. I mean, you my wife, and I got to sleep in the other room. I mean, not got to, but it's a situation where I come home from work, we eat dinner, we talk to each other, hey, pay the bills or whatever. Then when we go upstairs, I'm not doing that.
So rather try to figure out why people stay in that kind of situation, I'll give you some reasons how to turn that situation. 'Cause
Okay.
if it's toxic, right? I tell people all the time, if you are in a marriage or relationship, I believe that if you do love stuff until if the love is gone, if you do love stuff, the love will return.
I think I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But see, some people say that is it toxicity? Is that the word? Toxicity? They say that is normal. So like you just said, aunties, single, nobody married, there's no blueprint. So it's like everybody kind of see this behavior going on, and it's like when they get older, it's like that's the norm.
If you see a marriage that is 18, 25, 30, 40.
Oh, I talked to them. Even when I was married, I would talk to them.
Talk to them
just to see what was what.
Because they have a survival story that you don't see from the outside.
Right.
Anybody who have stood the test of time in a marriage, because think about it, you bring all that you've learned. Let's say you got married at 25. All that you learned for 25 years. I bring all that I've learned for 25 years, and we're going to dump it on the table, and we got to sort through it. That's a lot of stuff. Yeah. And we got to build a life together. Who pay the bills? Who don't pay the bills? Do we do one bank account? Do we do two bank accounts?
Right.
Who paid the school and who paid the rent? All of that stuff has to be sorted out And that, if it's not done properly, will produce the toxic or the toxicity as you're talking about. But there is a way to remedy that, and I believe if you do love things, you send the flowers even though you hate, even though you don't want to send it. You go out to lunch even though you just miserable, and I believe that love will return.
I'm not sleeping in another bed.
No, I'm not even.
I'm not doing that. I don't know how dudes do it, and I feel like at the end of the day, it's like they kind of setting themselves up for destruction anyway when they allowing it. So
I'm not
do
sleeping
something
on
like
the
that.
couch either.
I'm not.
No,
I mean, now don't get me wrong. I've done it on occasion where I was tired and just didn't go upstairs. It wasn't somewhere where I was in the doghouse and I had to do it. But I feel like if we married, we can be upset, but I'm still getting in the bed.
Oh yeah.
We might be backfighting each other all night.
I'm getting in the bed, though.
But I'm getting in the bed, though. I mean, and I feel like, I just feel like some men, like you say, nowadays, they kind of put themselves in a situation. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because I found myself in that same situation. I found myself, and I'm going to just say, allowing certain things to happen. And then my significant other got comfortable. And then it just became the norm.
Right,
but to
right.
me, I've never let anybody do or say certain things, and I was allowing it.
Right.
But I'm thinking I'm doing it for the betterment of the marriage, and I'm not. I'm killing myself.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm not being me no more.
Oh, yeah.
I'm taking myself out. I mean, I went to my mother's house. I went to my grandmother's house one day. I walked in the door. I spoke to her. We get ready to chat, and as I was getting ready to mumble something, she was like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "I'm good. Why you say that?" She was like, "No, where's my grandson?"
Right.
I said, "Grandma, what you mean?" She was like, "When you come over here, you got something funny to say. You make me laugh." She said, "For the last 5 visits, you haven't done any of that."
Wow.
She said, "I don't know what's going on in that house." She said, I really don't really know the young lady like that, but do not let her change my grandson."
Wow.
They just start flowing because I'm like, she not even living in my house and can kind of see what I'm dealing with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If so to speak, because I'm not even being myself, and it just hit me that day. I'm like,
Yeah.
I gotta switch it up. And it was like, soon as I started to try to regain Kevin again, then it was an issue for her.
Yeah,
Who you think you talking to? You ain't? And it's like, but I'm being my, And then it's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah. Well, one of the number one things we can never do is lose ourselves. I mean, because that's the you that they fell in love with in the beginning.
Right.
And so we can always change according to the relationship, but we can't totally lose ourselves in it.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, because I know for me, it was a little rough getting out of that. But I mean, like you say, you gotta elevate. So let's talk about something else that I think is going to be a little bit funny. I ain't gonna talk about Duke because I ain't gonna talk about Duke because I know how you feel about that. Did Duke play yesterday? No, they ain't play yesterday. My bad. Let me stop. Okay, so I had another question that somebody was talking, and since we talking about social media, is it a must? And I'm just asking, is it a must that you post your significant other on social media for validity to them?
Say that one more time.
Is it a must that we post our significant other for validity for them? Because some people feel like, oh, you don't, why you ain't post my picture? Do I have to? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or if you on social media and you may have a female colleague or whatever, and you like her picture or whatever,
right? And
you don't have a double back, and you don't do something for your folks, they texting you.
Wow.
Social media, I'm telling you, social media is if you delete somebody on social media right now, I guarantee you get a text in 10 minutes. Did you just delete me?
You're lying.
Delete anybody. When we get off of here, delete anybody. I mean, not saying being mean, but just delete somebody.
So I understand your question. If you're dating someone and you don't post them, they get an attitude about it, and you're saying, should we post them so that they can feel good about where we are in the relationship?
Correct. And also with that, I mean, is it a must? Because some women feel like you have to. Or why you ain't post when we went to Jamaica? For what? For why? Yeah. Why everybody need to be in our business? And so I was dealing with a situation where, a young lady was like, her dude don't post her at all, right? And I was like, well, I got a reason for that. I said, the reason why your dude don't post you is because you his. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now he posting you. Now all his friends list. Guess what? Facebook friends list. Them ain't friends. Them associates.
Correct.
So when you got people, you know, you giving your old lady attention. Now you got people looking at her like, oh, I'm sure it is okay. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And trust me, that DM trifling.
Wow.
That DM is trifling.
Wow.
And I try to tell people all the time. You start showing that you are in a relationship with your significant other, or things are going good with y'all. Watch that DM blow up. Hey Kevin, how you been? I ain't seen you in a while. Wait a minute, what? Yeah, I know it's been a minute, but what's up with you? What you been up to? And you clearly see me posting my folks on the book, but you in my DM talking about, hey, how you doing?
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
2 in the morning?
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
What we doing? So my thing was, I don't do it for that reason. I don't do it because I feel like I just don't want to. First of all, I don't want to buy all of my business. One.
Right.
I feel like the people in my circle that know me gonna know her, whoever she may be. You know what I'm saying? She'll meet you. She'll meet T-Man,
Right.
Hood. Cool. She'll meet everybody. The people that she need to know, she'll meet. But I feel like social media, I don't think that's.
So you bring an interesting because I'm always posting my wife, right?
Yeah. But that's cool though. I mean, that's cool. I mean, for you, that's what you do. And I mean, if that's the lane you in,
that's the lane you in.
That's, you know what I mean?
But I think you just hit the nail on the head because that's the lane that I'm in, and because that works for me, we should not try to cross into somebody else's lane and do it how it works for them, and try to make it work for us.
Right.
People have to get out of there is no one size fit all, right? And so there may be a number of reasons. You know, I have police friends who don't post their wives or significant others because of safety.
Exactly.
So there could be a number of reasons why. Here's another one. I hope you don't lose. But I post my wife, but I very rarely do I wear a wedding ring.
Oh, but we hip though. We already know what's good. I mean,
so I think the posting is not as important as the relationship. If I think if the woman is secure in the relationship, and so if you're not, and here's my advice to all the fellas: if you're not going to post her, you got to make sure you validate her in other ways.
Right. And that's why I use the word validate.
Because I got friends of mine, man, and it's funny you bring this question up because I have friends of mine who hate when I post my wife. Because when I post my wife,
you putting pressure on them.
It puts all kinds of pressure on them.
What? Did you see Reverend White post his wife? And I had a pretty dress on at church yesterday. Why you ain't post my picture? And they in the pit looking at you like this. Dog. What you doing? You killing me.
Right.
You killing me.
And I get that all the time. But I tell them all the time, you know, it's different reasons why people do what they do. And everybody has different needs in each relationship.
It's almost like now it's a deal breaker though. Wow. You don't post me, I mean, what?
So let me ask you this. So and you have to help me because again I'm out of the game. So according to your question, do you change the relationship status on your Facebook though?
I've never touched it.
So you're not going to post.
I've never touched it.
So you
since I've been divorced, I've never touched it.
So would you change it?
I don't really see.
Because now on the status it says single.
Right.
So if you are in a committed,
but I think mine say relationship though. I've never touched it. I think if I go look on it right now, I think it say in a relationship. Okay. I never touched it because I don't care.
Right.
Like, see, people get on social media and get the, you know, I don't care about that.
And so I think what needs to happen here is that this has to be discussed in the dating process.
Right.
Because if we discuss this in the dating process, then we'll know what the expectation is.
Right.
One of my attorney friends says social media has changed relationships in a major way.
Absolutely.
If it ain't on social media, it ain't legit.
Exactly. And that's and that's real talk because, listen, and in the divorce process, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, they cutting and pasting, Slim. Making a folder, putting them in emails. Oh, And when you get to court, oh yeah, Jan, can we show you some? You like, wait, what is that? Oh,
So let me ask you this. See, now I'm becoming the question. Now I'm asking the question.
okay.
So if you're not going to post me, are you going to randomly just like all of these other females' pictures?
I try to stay away from liking too many people's pictures, but I feel like at the end of the day, everybody that's kind of on my list, we know each other, whether we went to high school, college, work together, whatever the case may be.
Right.
So it's not like if I like your picture, now I feel like I think it's okay to like the picture, but it's the comments. I think sometimes people got to get, technical with the comments, like, what that mean? What? I mean, I'm cool that you like their picture because I like their boots, but what was the You know what I mean? So it's like, it get tricky, and that's what I mean. Social media has really gotten people to the point where that's the end all be all.
And so I think you have to decide what kind of social media partners are we going to be, because I can see where the lines get muddy and crossed, right? Because if we're going to be not really engaged in social media, then that's cool. You're not going to post me. You're not going to change your status. But then you cannot go and be liking and loving and giving hearts.
Oh yeah, I believe that.
Okay.
I got what you're saying on that. I would definitely have to agree with that. But I'm about to tell you something that's funny. So when I was married,
right,
social media had gotten so bad in our relationship that we reluctantly made a page together, and it was like we gonna pick and choose who gonna be our friends.
Wow,
that's where it got tricky.
That's how bad it got. Yeah.
Oh, well, who is that? Oh, I went to high school with her. Well, I don't know her. Wait a minute, that's what we doing?
Wow,
and we couldn't do it no more. It was a bad deal.
So one of the things that I do now, this, and I hope I don't lose y'all here, but this is one of the things I do, and you can try it if you want, but. I've safeguarded myself, right? So my wife and I have the same phones. Oftentimes we have the same cover. Everything.
Not to cut you off, my man said that now that he's married to his wife, her face opens his phone.
Yeah.
I said, wait, what?
And I
ain't there yet, Chan.
I'll take it a step further.
I ain't there yet.
There's no passwords that she doesn't know.
Right.
There's no inboxes that she can't see, and there is no bank account that she does not have access to.
Okay.
Because I believe that if I'm going to give her my body, then I there's nothing off limits that she can see. And I think once we get past that.
How old do we have to be when we get there? Because there ain't nobody doing that at 25.
Well, you know what I mean. You have to know who you have, right? And you have to know who you with, right?
Yeah.
And if you see yourself with it, like we got a homie who says he's done, and for him to say it and go through all of the measures that he's going through, I believe him. And so
I believe him when he said it. It's like when you hear a person's tone, and then after the tone, I don't want to say the example, but because I don't want, and then I don't want, and then I don't want, and you get to a point you tired. I feel like I'm 41. I don't want to keep running around what?
So the matter, I guess the better question is, are you all in? Because if you are all in and you absolutely love her, but she says this makes me happy when you do this. Are you all in to the point you say, well, whatever it takes to make her happy, that's what I'm going to do, even if it means I have to post her on my social media? Look at that face, y'all.
Because
that's the wrestle. Are you all in? Because watch this, it's not necessarily what makes.
I think if it would make her happy, I would do it.
Right.
I think if it made her happy, I would do it. Even though I would be reluctant to do it, but I think if it made her happy and it wouldn't be no riffs or nothing, I think I would do it because I've done it. When I was married, I posted my folks all the time.
There's a book called The 5 Love Languages.
I've read it.
And so everybody have a different love language. And so it makes no sense for you to buy me flowers thinking that
physical touch,
that's my love.
Words of affirmation.
Exactly.
And I got one more. I forgot what it was, but I got 3.
There's gifts of service.
Yes.
Right. So you have to know and study because here's a big one. When your significant other leaves you, people are studying them,
Right.
and they're waiting on that moment to catch them with their guard down, and all of their notes, all of their stuff that they've studied.
Right.
They know what my wife like to eat. They know
Right.
what. So by 9 o'clock, my wife and I have already talked about 15 times already,
Right.
every day,
Right.
because you can't give the enemy no kind of foothold.
And I think now at 41, I think now, being through a lot of the shenanigans, I am all in with the right person.
Right.
You know what I mean? With the
gotta-
right person.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And, but it's hard because it's like if you dating somebody and you happen to figure out that the chemistry not there or they just not the vibe isn't there, you have to cut that off.
You have to.
But then that person is giving you all of this. Why you doing this? I love you, this, that, and the third. But you like, listen, I'm not doing this to hurt you. I'm actually doing this to help you because I don't want you to think that it's something and it's not.
Right.
So let's why not cut it off? And so it's a lot of dudes dealing with that too as well. You know what I mean?
And if me posting you on social media is driving me crazy, then I'd rather just cut this off and be with someone that can deal with me not posting them.
Right.
But if I said I would do it, and this is what makes you happy, and it's bringing peace to the home, I don't have the right to 5 years in and stop doing it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we got one more, man.
Oh,
we
man.
we gonna do this last one, man, and then we gonna be done. Cause I know this is gonna send everybody home right here. And y'all know I like to start trouble. I'm a little bit of a troublemaker. Okay. So the last one is not necessarily should you, but would you be able to allow friends to spend time around your partner without you? And I got a lot of feedback from this where people gave me both sides.
You didn't ask me the Valentine's question either. I was waiting on that one.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Yeah, I got it. That's the bonus.
So should say that question one more time.
So I put should, but I'm saying, would you allow friends to spend time with your partner without you?
So, and we talked about this earlier today. Everybody is not your friend. I think the OJs recorded a song. They smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. So we have to be very careful who we give that title to. It's about 8 of us. We've been friends since 93, 94.
Right.
And so would I allow my friends, what do you mean spend time?
So I gave a scenario. I said, so let's say you at work, the missus is out eating lunch or whatever. A friend, associate, crosses paths, sees her, decides to sit down, chop it up a little bit. You call, and then while you pick up, she laughing, but you can hear the dude, and you like, hello. Hey G, come on G. Even G was like, hold up.
So right, we've been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
Me, you, Soup, Tony, man, all of us. I think that's something that we wouldn't even do. Now, I don't think that we would stop to say hi. We would stop to say you good, but then I think the respectful thing would be to keep it moving.
Right.
No one should be but a friend, right, is different from a coworker. See, I don't know a coworker.
Correct.
I don't know who you're interacting with daily.
Well, I just try to give a scenario because
Right.
some people was like, well, what you mean? And I was like, okay, another one. I got another one. Let's say, I know G can probably laugh at this one. Let's say if wifey is at home, right? Let's say you had to run out, and let's say I called you and was like, hey, I'm at the crib. You there? I don't see your car. Nah, wifey in there. Go ahead in there. Now, you know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
I'm going to say, nah, I'm going to sit in the car till you get here.
Right.
Nah, go ahead in there, dog. Nah.
And I think that's a real friend.
Yeah.
That's
I ain't going in with your wife? Nah.
And I'm gonna take it a step further. A wife probably wouldn't open the door.
But if she do.
If she we haven't talked about it. We haven't put measures in place. But I think that there is some of this you don't even have to talk about.
Right.
Because it just don't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. Because
But it just goes to show you and I hate to say this word, but it goes to show you the ignorance of some people.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is stuff that I got off social media. So I'm just saying, it could be a good platform, it could be a bad platform, or people just make it what they make it. And I just feel like at the end of the day, you know, sometimes for me it's for jokes and, you know, giggles. It ain't always serious. But when you stop to think about it, you go, but this is some stuff that's happening that people are allowing their significant others to do.
Yeah.
And when the other significant other got a problem with it, you like, what's wrong? What's the problem? What you mean you can't see what the problem is? So that's why.
And a lot of this, you don't even need a counseling session for this. You don't need a prayer, all night prayer for this. A lot of it is really common sense. Right. That if your husband is not home, and see now this is where I get upset with the ladies, right? Because sometimes I don't believe that they value and respect and revere the husband and put him in his proper place.
Please say that again, sir.
As it relates to the relationship.
Please say that.
Because,
no, I'm serious. Say that again, sir.
Because if he is the quote unquote the priest of the home, the head of the home, the leader of the home. I'm the leader when you hear a noise at night and you need me to go downstairs and check it out.
Exactly.
I'm the leader when you need that trash taken out, that oil change, all of that stuff.
Right.
So respect me enough to say, hey, someone came, or call me and say, so-and-so is outside, and I'll give you the instructions heretofore. So whether we're going forward or not, I'll let you know. That's a respect issue. And if a wife opens the door for anybody that you don't have insight that's coming into your home, that's a bad sign of disrespect. That's a bad sign of disrespect.
And one time I went to it was a class at my church called 6THMAN, and they told us to read Ephesians chapter 5. And so, you know, normally people always start down 25. You know, when you marry your husband, you cleave to your husband, you leave your parents, all that. But the pastor was like, no. Go up to verse 1, and then read verse 1 to come down. And I mean, I tell anybody, now that if they want to know what their roles and responsibilities are in a marriage, start at chapter 5, read it all the way down.
Oh yeah,
it tell you everything.
And biblically, there was no model, so there was no hierarchy, you know, as it relates to the husband being the head of the woman in the beginning. In the beginning,
right.
But once Eve and Adam fell, God says, okay, now I'm putting some structure to this.
What you say? What now? When who did what?
Once,
I need you to fix that.
Once Eve was
okay. Thank you, ladies. Y'all can call me petty if you want. I just wanted my man to clear that up.
But hold on, let me help the ladies, because I can't let them get away with that. Right? It was not a sin. And I tell my churches all the time, it was not a sin until Adam ate. And so here's the shout. This is why I get frustrated with Adam, because Adam could have got a brand new wife if he would have told Eve, I'm not taking that, you in trouble, go sit down.
That's true.
Yeah.
I like that you brought that up. That is very true. Go sit down.
Yeah.
You be easy.
And sometimes we have to tell our wives, you go sit down. You go sit down.
And I know you're getting cussed out now. I know you're getting cussed out.
But it's a matter of respect and all seriousness. We have to respect one another, and vice versa. There is no woman coming in,
right?
If the wife is not.
And I did that once on an accident, but she just felt like, you know, I should have called her. No, I mean it was two coworkers. We was close to the house. We had just had a little cookout, and it was a lot of food left. And they was like, we ain't ate yet. I was like, man, come by the house. Y'all can make a plate. And I think my only, now that I'm thinking about it, my only thing that I know I could have did to help that situation was to just say, hey, I'm at the house with my coworkers. I brought them in here to make a plate. And she probably would have been like, all right. But it was the fact that she called me, and they was in the house, and she didn't know, and she was like, who was that?
Respect.
I was like, that's just my coworkers, and it just blew up.
I remember we had a family member live with us. One of my wife's family members lived. She was a female, and she was single. But if I got home and my wife hadn't made it home yet, I wouldn't even go in my own house.
Wow.
Because it was a respect issue, and I didn't want to compromise. And sometimes we think we super save, but Paul says in this flesh there's nothing in it that's good.
Right. You
can be apostle, you can be bishop, you can be even John Gray, and at the wrong moment you are able to fall.
John Gray.
Stop it. So we have to know ourselves and be true to it. Our own self be true, right?
Right.
So we have to always hold the relationship in a high regard.
Okay.
If a woman knows that you respect her, a good woman,
Right.
she knows that you respect her, she'll ride with you.
Oh, for sure.
She'll ride with
For
you.
sure. So the bonus.
The bonus.
This is the bonus, man. I mean, we was done with the question, but this is the bonus. Valentine's Day. Does it have to be an expensive gift? Does it have to be expensive? Does it have to be extravagant? Because I went and looked up Valentine's Day, and it has nothing to do with gifts. It has nothing to do with gifts. And some people look at Valentine's Day as doomsday. So what's up with Valentine's Day? Is it a must that I get you a gift? Can I just say Happy Valentine's Day, kiss you on the cheek, and keep it moving?
So I asked one of my good friends about this, and he went ballistic, right? He went ballistic because he said, when you get there tonight, tell Kevin that when did Valentine's Day become an exclusive day only for women? Because where's the man's gift?
Yeah, we don't get nothing.
Yeah, she said, so ladies, y'all need to help us now.
Yeah, we don't get nothing.
Because we prepare, we make reservations.
All that.
Yeah, and we spend some money.
What?
Right. Especially if I know you spent some, and then my wife is going to hear about it.
What?
And then I got but I find myself often wondering, where's my gift? So
And you know what somebody told me?
Mm-hmm.
I am the gift. No.
Oh my goodness.
No. The gift is when you get home. What? Really? But we out at Ocean Air, the bill like $300. Come on now. What is going to be when we get home?
So to me, I honor the day of love, a general day where we set aside and we call it a love day. But I don't put a whole lot of stock in it. And I'm definitely not going into credit cards.
So watch this though. I mean, but you married. But let me ask you this though: should dudes that's dating do extravagant Valentine's? I mean, because I mean, listen, man. This past Valentine's Day, man. I forgot where I was at, but I was leaving. I was in Silver Spring somewhere, and there was a dude that pulled up. He had his hazards on. He had all this stuff he was putting in the back of his car. And I was like, damn, cuz, it's Valentine's Day like that? And you know what he said? He said, man, if I don't do this for my wife, the rest of the year going to be messed up for me.
Wow, the rest of the year?
I mean, Slim looked like he spent at least a couple the rest of the year.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, is it that serious? Like, I got to go out and do all of this for you for one day when I'm giving it to you 365 days of the year, so you may out of this one day, I gotta go super duper all out.
And I think that would probably be the question. How is his behavior all year long? Because if he builds it up and only waits for Valentine's Day, then I can understand it. But if you have a date night once a week, if you are
on
constantly,
average,
then you don't have to. We talked about this morning. We got to get to a place where people accept you without the performance. You don't have to perform for me to love you. And if you got to perform for me to love you, then it's not really love. Does that mean? So if I got to be flowers and candy and all of that for you to love me, then the love is not really authentic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ladies, did y'all hear that? Do we need to say that again? Because I'm trying to tell y'all, man, Valentine's Day should not be that.
No,
it should not be that.
No, and you know what's real cool? I tend to do this. I try to beat the rush. So I try to send stuff. If I'm going to send it, I'll send it the week before or a couple of days before. And I found that to be more significant than the actual day, because then everybody is expecting it on Valentine's Day.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you coming through, man.
Listen,
as always, man.
We need to do this one Sunday morning, man.
We
without
can.
the sermon, without all that, just put the table out and have this kind of conversation.
We could do that. I mean, because I feel like now, I just feel like I done been through so much. Marriage, divorce, kids, I want to say overcome street life. So I got so much that's in me. And it's like some nights I'm in the house and I can't sleep
Wow.
because I gotta get it out.
You gotta get it
You know
out,
what I
yeah.
mean? So I get my pen, I write, or I put it in my phone. And so like this was one of the ones that we came up because I was like it was a little cleaner, you know. But I mean I may bring you back on some others, you know, just to show people, you know, because a lot of people still don't know even from this platform who I am.
Right.
Like they don't know me yet.
I would definitely tell you it's needed in the church as well because and this is going to be alarming, but the divorce rate in church is just about as higher as it is outside of church. And I believe the reason why it is because we don't have this kind of dialogue. We've taught you how to get a new house, a new car, clean your credit up, but we haven't taught you how to live one with the other.
I tell anybody, I was like, my father was in hospice when me and my ex-wife got married, and for me it was an emotional decision because I asked him, you know, would he come, and he was like, yeah, and he had any day, right, and we did it without counseling because of, you know, the emotional decision that I made, and then, you know, I want to say maybe a month later, my father died. Wow. Right? And so it was an emotional decision. But after going through counseling a couple times, in my mind, you know, I had a friend of mine asked me, he was like, you know, if you would have went to counseling, do you think y'all would have got married? And I was like, absolutely not. Because it was so much stuff coming out. Yeah. She was broke. I was broke. And it's like somebody said two broke people can't fix each other. Y'all got to go and get fixed first and then come back. So it was one of them situations where, you know, I don't really get too deep, you know, but people don't know, you know, I was off the market for a long time. You know what I mean? And then when I would bump into people in the street and they see my wedding ring, they be like, Slim, you married? like I went to the store and bought it for fake. Right. And it was like, yeah, I'm married. I mean, I remember one time going to the mall and I saw two young ladies. Who married you? I'm like, am I that bad?
So you good and single now?
Yeah.
Ladies, y'all hear that? Saved and single.
I mean, listen. At the end of the day, I feel like I'm not looking for nobody. You know, I feel like, you know, trying to do everything that I'm doing, grinding, work, it's a lot. You know what I mean? And so sometimes I find myself when I'm so busy, I don't really pay attention to Kevin. So now I feel like I'm at a point where everything is kind of slowing down, and now I can try to see, you know, if she out there, and if she is, if she's out there for me, she gonna know because I'm gonna make myself known. Yeah. If that makes sense. Yeah. Like I'm always gonna put that foot forward because I think any man who's interested in a woman allows himself to show her that he's interested. Oh yeah. So
and I believe it don't take long either.
Right.
I think when men know, they know.
Right.
So ladies, if you're listening, it don't take us long. When we know, and we're coming after you
for
with
sure.
Everything that we got.
For sure.
So ladies, y'all hit him up. Y'all see him. He think he gonna get off. Y'all make sure y'all can DM all you want. He's good at single.
I don't pick up on DMs though. I don't. You know what I'm saying? You guys see me on the street, man. So again, man, I appreciate Mr. White coming through, man. I mean, man. But Lou, nice finest, man. That's what we do, man. And we just wanted to get a unique way to just talk about some stuff. I mean, I know it was some, you know, funny stuff, but there's some real stuff going on. And like he just said, you know, under the table, people don't realize the divorce rate that's in church. Like people think when you go to church, it's holier than thou, and it's not. It's way more people having worse situations that's, you know, that has titles in church versus the regular people that's coming on Sunday. So it's just a lot of stuff that you got to do. There's a lot of commitment, and I think for me, you know, the end all be all for me is that R word, respect. Yeah. If you don't have that, it's not going to work. Because I feel like at the end of the day, when that B word slip out your mouth or that F word slip out your mouth, and it slips out so frequently and so nice and so sweet, and you don't even care how it made the other person feel, it's a wrap. Yeah. It's a done deal. Deal.
For me, man, once I know that you got me, like you got, it's easy for you to hold me down when I got it, but when I get to my lowest point, are you still down for me? And if you can hold me down until I got the power to get back up, we can do it. We can do it. And that's who. And I believe that she's out there for you too.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. I mean, because I feel like I bring a lot to the table. I mean, I'm not gonna put it out there, but I bring a lot to the table. I'm a handyman. I'm good with my hands. I could cook in the microwave.
he lying, y'all. He can cook.
I can cook in the microwave. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, again, man, I'm happy my man came through. I'm hoping we gave y'all some enlightenment. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm hoping we touched something, especially with the love language, because when people talk about that book, they get it misconstrued that men don't read. And I mean, it was a requirement that I read the book. When I start going to counseling and kind of figure out whether we gonna still be married, when we read that book, we understood our love bank and we understood what we needed to do for each other. It just got to the point where when you read, you get a better understanding of what's going on. And so once you get that better understanding, you got an idea of in your next situation, there's no need to put the wall up. The wall need to be torn down.
Absolutely.
And you need to just put everything on the table, like my man said, and just all right, we don't need that. All right, we don't need this. We used to want to hold on to this. All right, let's hold on to this.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I got to keep this because that's like yours. All right, we're going to throw that. And a lot of y'all, we're not doing that. And I feel like now, a dude told me before I close, man, I can't date no women with kids. I said, well, do me a favor. At 40, you name me one female that don't have kids. You're not going to ever have no woman then.
So I'll leave you with this. My number one thing I tell single people is to make sure you take your time. Time will reveal the hand of the enemy. If you just wait, and be honest with yourself. If this is driving you crazy, you have to love her enough to say, this is driving me crazy.
Right.
And
to say it.
To say it. Yeah, you got to say it in love. And I think if respect is major.
Right.
If I respect you, you respect me, we can make it work.
Right.
We can make it work.
Hey, it's from the Rev, man. I'm the 6 Man in studios. You know what I mean? 87 TV Network. I always got to shout them out, man. My man Jermaine. I'm getting him in here next. I'm getting my man Young Vaughn, Love More Brand. We gonna come in here and we gonna do a little different than what we did with him because I had to, he got the holy hand, so I had to,
Oh, so y'all turn up when I'm not here?
Oh man, we got to, man. We got to turn up when you're not here, man. You can watch it live and
I want to come. I want to.
Well, you gonna have to sit over there, man. You can't
I want to be a part of the discussion.
Man, come on, man. You can't. Hey, look, man. It's a 6 Man. I love y'all, man. Listen, don't do what you did yesterday. All right, and tomorrow be better than you were yesterday. Feel me? 6 Man, I'm out. Y'all be easy.
Japera's Clothing is a new, stylish, black-owned brand established in 2016. They explore unfamiliar territories in the clothing industry by tailoring their Euro Street vibe into their entire product line to enrich their vision to their customers and all of their clients. In a world where you can be anything, Japera says, be you, be versatile. Japera's Clothing can also be found at www.shopjaperasclothing.com. And Japera's Clothing is also an official partner of this show, Real Talk with the 6 Man. Japera's, be you, be versatile.
This is a 87 TV Network exclusive.
What's going on, everybody? It's the 6 Man, host of Real Talk with the 6 Man. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? Man, when I was trying to start my podcast and get it off the ground, I had so many questions. How do I record an episode? Where do I find background music? How do I get my show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all of the other places people listen to podcasts? Where do I find advertising? Man, I had so many questions. But Anchor was my one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing, and monetizing my podcast. It's 100% free and 100% ridiculously easy. Very, very, very easy. If you want to start your own podcast, go to anchor.fm/start. Again, that's anchor.fm/start. Start your podcast, y'all. It's easy. 6 Man, I'm out. Have you ever needed an important document notarized and your bank was closed? Need someone who will be reliable, punctual, and provide great customer service? Call my man Maurice over at Austin Mobile Notary, 757-325-7353, or email him at austinmobilenotary@gmail.com. Austin Mobile Notary is a new mobile after-hours and weekend notary service. Mention this podcast, Real Talk with the 6THMAN, and Maurice will give you a $5 credit towards your first bill. Remember, Austin Mobile Notary for convenient mobile notary services. Austin Mobile Notary, y'all. Check them out. 6THMAN. Y'all be easy.
This is a 87 TV network exclusive.
Be better than yesterday. I gotta be better than yesterday. No matter if I'm playing 6-man or star, I'm better than yesterday. I gotta be better than yesterday. I gotta be better than yesterday. No matter if I'm playing 6-man or star, I'm better than yesterday.
We gotta be better, do better. That's every minute, every second. Dropping juice, hope you collecting them. The voice of the people, we all gon' get heard. This real spill, never clean what I say. Always tuned in, never tuned out. Gotta stay woke and be a sleepwalker. Gotta stand up, got too many standouts. Stay ready like the 6-man of the year. We up now, we up now.
Be better than yesterday. I gotta be better than yesterday. No matter if I'm playing 6-man or star, I'm better than yesterday. Be better than yesterday. I gotta be better than yesterday. No matter if I'm playing 6-man or star, I'm better than yesterday.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome back to the show, man. Welcome back to the show, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Hey, listen, let me start off real quick, man. All you do fans, please do not go into witness protection. Please don't. Don't do it. Just you guys lost. It happens. It happens. I know I'm gonna get some text messages later on, but it is what it is. So I appreciate y'all coming back to the show, man. It's always a pleasure for y'all to come in, holler at your boy, man. I appreciate it. Can I start off the show with just basically saying that I want to talk about something that I saw outside. So DC is a multicultural place, right? And for some reason, I love white people, but they just so funny to me. And so as I'm outside waiting to get in the building, I just noticed all of these bikes. Right? They got all these bikes. They rent these bikes or whatever, the pedal bikes. And I'm like, that's cool. But now they got these little scooters. And I'm like thinking while they riding past me, like, you just can't walk to where you going. You got to get this motorized scooter to get you where you going. I just don't understand it, man. But I love the white people, man. I love them. So listen, man, real quick, I want to do a shout out, man. I appreciate having this opportunity, y'all. I really do. So I appreciate the partnership that I'm getting with 87 TV Network. And I'm also going to have a guest tonight who's actually a team member of the team. So I'm psyched. So Miss Love, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, and you?
What's going on?
Nothing, chilling, just soaking the life up.
You like that walk from the car, from the
No.
street? That was terrible. Y'all, Southwest, y'all gotta do something about that, man. Y'all gotta help us out, man, so we ain't gotta walk so far, man. But get the people an idea of who you are real quick before we get into this, because I know you told me you had a business and you had some stuff going on. So just give us a touch of what you do and who you are.
Okay, well, I'm Lulu. Basically, I am the entertainment publicist for 87 TV Network. Basically taking care of everything as far as from the paperwork to, getting all the clients in, speaking with them, asking, answering questions that they may have.
Okay.
Basically that. As far as my company, I am trying to start my personal fashion stylist because I